So what is your gripe?
So my gripe is holding on to useless things. So it would be easy for me to say that my gripe is political. I could say something about the state of the government of the United States or the three branches that seem to me to be complete disasters. But I also remember hearing that you shouldn't gripe about something unless you plan on doing something about it. So it'd be easy for me to say that in the past several years we've had everything from porn stars and drug addiction. We have a senator in New Jersey right now who can't explain $500,000 in cash, not to mention the gold bars or a Mercedes in his driveway. So anyway, long story short, it seems to me to be a mess. But again, don't gripe about something unless you're willing to do something about it. So I was thinking to myself, maybe what I should do is, maybe I should run for president in 2024. And my one issue, the platform that I would run on, coincides with my gripe. So here goes. Several years ago, I'm driving home from work and I'm on a highway, and there's a kind of interesting thing about my exit ramp. My exit ramp off of this highway has an entrance ramp that is unusually close. That entrance ramp has a yield sign. Well, anyway, I'm driving home, and most times when I get to this spot, I know not to trust the yield sign or people stopping there or yielding there. The average Joe just isn't going to do that. But then there was this one time while I'm driving where a school bus is on the entrance ramp. School bus, just side note, just to be clear, this is a vehicle that will stop at train tracks even when there's no train around. Okay, this is the vehicle that's transporting our future. This is a vehicle that transports our youngsters. Am I allowed to say youngsters? Can I say youngsters? Is that still politically correct to say youngsters?
I'm not sure.
I don't want to offend the youngsters out there in the world. So anyway, it's transporting our youngsters. So anyway, as I'm driving, I am right about at my exit ramp. There's a school bus that now I'm assuming this is going to be one of the rare occurrences where this vehicle will actually yield. But when I get to the spot, the bus, not only does the bus not yield, the guy doesn't even tap the brakes. So now I have a very small window of opportunity. I can either try to outrun the bus and get off my exit, or I can hit the brakes and go around him that way, which I decide to do. I don't want to jeopardize the youngsters, so I hit the brakes and I go off on the exit ramp. But it left me steamed. And it left me thinking to myself of the idiocy of yield signs. So my gripe really has to do a lot with yield signs just in this way. First of all, if you think about it, a yield sign, of all traffic signs, it seems to me that the yield sign it's got like commitment issues. Either stop or go. But to have a yield sign, it's like having a guy on the corner who is like looking around saying, is anyone willing to stop? Will someone please stop? Anyone? Anyone willing to stop? No one is stopping. It's like looking for volunteers to stop. So I figured to myself, okay, for starters, why are we bothering to even produce these things? Yield signs in our country right now, production costs anywhere from tens of dollars to over $100 per sign for a yield sign that no one trusts, no one abides by, and yet we're continuing to produce this yield sign. And it's got me steamed. So much so that if I were going to run in 2024, it would be a single platform issue. I would immediately cease production of the yield sign. I'd take the money and I would divert it to things that are far more important. And so going back to what started this whole thing, getting rid of useless things is important and is my gripe. And if you remember, what I started with was our government right now filled with people who are completely dysfunctional. And just side note, I am not, this is not a veiled threat. I don't want the FBI like banging on my door. I just mean electing them out of office. Thank you.
So what could they put in the place of a yield sign?
Either stop or go. If you're going to just put a stop sign. Do you trust stop signs? Be honest. Do you trust yield signs? I'll put it to you this way. When was the last time you heard of someone getting a ticket for running a yield sign? No, it doesn't happen.
That is a good point.
So why are we even bothering?
Well, how do you feel about the four-way stop signs?
The four-way stop signs are fine. Everybody stops. Nobody knows what to do. It's supposed to be the person to the right, right? So it's always like it's going to be the person to the right. No one knows what to do. But at least I can respect it because everybody is actually stopping.
You don't find that everybody is actually not stopping and trying to beat the other guy through the stop sign?
You got to do a little finagling when you're at the four-way stop for sure. And you have to take into account that there is lots of confusion among the fellow drivers on the road. But at least that, you know that you trust that people are going to stop. Do you trust people when you're going around someplace that has a yield sign? Do you trust them completely to yield? I think if you were to poll most people, they would like to think that people will yield. Sometimes people will, but you don't trust it. So that's my gripe.
Well, so as president, the first thing you would do is eliminate.
It's probably the only thing I would do if I'm elected.
I see. Is there anything else on the topic you would like to say? Any other traffic signs that might be questionable? One way, do not enter.
All of them seem very clear to me. It's pretty cut and dry. But the yield is like I said, it's like looking for volunteers to stop. I just think I've had it, really, is where I'm at right now.
I see. Well, thank you for
Thank you.
sharing your opinion.
Thank you.